If there's one thing I know more than anything, it's that everyone has sent a text message and then immediately regretted that they sent that message. They just sit at their phone for hours, just staring at it, thinking, oh dear God, why did I ruin everything? Please let me take it back. And you can't, and you have to deal with the ramifications forever. And 99% of the time, it's a whimsical message. It's not supposed to be any trouble at all, but it somehow becomes a giant mess of trouble. And boy, oh boy, did a college student cause a giant mess of trouble today because of Nintendo. Hey boys, it's Skootish, your favorite video game news guy, back again. Just reminding you guys real quick in the middle of this news story to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out, and I'm sure it'll make you feel a warm, fuzzy feeling inside. Please let me know if it does or doesn't in the comments below. Thanks. Continuing on this, Nintendo caused this issue for sure. It's not even funny. You see, a Californian college student asked his professor to get out of class. He asked him to cancel class for the Nintendo Direct so that he could stay home and watch it. You know, my first instinct would just be not to go to class and get the notes from someone else, but he decided to email the professor and ask him to just cancel the class. And valid, or you could just, watch the Direct after class. It's not like you're going to be spoiled for what happens in the Direct. You're going to be in a class. So unless you're not paying attention, you're on like Twitter and you're getting spoiled, I feel like that's on you. Regardless, he emailed the professor a vague email, and the professor talked to authorities about it immediately. And their response is probably one of the funniest things I've ever read in my life. They said, "Tonight we were made aware of a perceived vague threat to campus received by a professor via email. The email referenced a once-in-a-lifetime event that would occur tomorrow, February 8th, and the individual urged the professor to cancel class for the good of humanity." Now, I know that ideally the first paragraph probably said, "Professor, there is going to be a life-changing event tomorrow during class time at about 5 p.m. EST, 2 p.m. Pacific. So you need to cancel class so that we as human beings can survive and thrive." That I assume it's something along those lines, and I'm assuming it was a very overblown, hyperbolic email. And I think it's funny that we know that he's talking about the Nintendo Direct, but if the professor doesn't know what a Nintendo Direct is, I can see where he would get worried, where he would get scared, especially with all the things that have terribly happened in schools in America lately. I can understand why he would talk to the police about it. It goes on where I'm like, this is absolutely crazy. They continue, "After hours of investigation by our detectives, we learned of a Nintendo Direct event that would occur at the exact date and time the individual suggested the class be canceled." I mean, come on. Like, come on. After hours of investigation, you discovered it was a Nintendo Direct? My first move would be to Google what's happening February 8th at this time. That would be step one of my investigation as a detective. Like, I don't know what else you would do first. If you know the date and time something's going to happen, I would Google what the event is going to be. I don't know. I feel like that makes a lot of sense to me. So I just don't know why they had to say after hours of investigation. They could have just said, "We have deduced it's the same date and time as a Nintendo Direct." I don't know why you have to put hours. They slaved over finding out on the mean streets of California to find out that a Nintendo Direct's happening at that date and time. The individual, believed to be a CUF student, I don't even know what that means. California State University, I guess Fullerton is what the tweet says. Student then reached back out to the professor via email, admitting it was a bad joke regarding the Nintendo Direct event. Don't you know for a fact it's a student then? Like, if the kid emailing the professor, don't you know that they should know? I'm worried about these detectives. They took them hours to figure out a Nintendo Direct's happening at the date and time of when the class happens, and they don't know if the individual is a student. I feel like they should know. I feel like they have the authority to know if they thought there was a real threat at that class, at that school. I don't know, but maybe that's why I'm not a detective. Out of an abundance of caution, additional officers will be on campus tomorrow. Student community service officers and community service specialists will be highly visible, and our K-9 team will walk the campus and buildings. We understand that a threat of any kind, real or not, causes many to fear for their safety. Please know we will do all that we can to ensure the safety of our campus community. Scott Wiley, Acting Chief of Police. I think the last part is great. I think that's what you should do. If you perceive that there was a threat, and even though it turns out to be like a little silly meme, you should still, act and have visible people to like make sure no funny business is actually really going on. I appreciate that, but the middle bit, like the buns, makes sense. It's like a weird burger sandwich. It's like the buns are toasted and buttered to perfection, and then the middle of it, where they don't know about the direct and they don't know if it's a student or not, is like an undercooked meat patty. You know what I mean? It's just a really silly thing. I feel like they should know, but that's just me. Obviously, this direct is very exciting for a lot of people, which caused this student to ask for the time off and asked the class to be canceled. And I get it. You don't want to miss out on credits. I understand. You want to be able to do good in college. Maybe there's an exam or something. I don't know. I'm not the kid. But it's very exciting. It's the first big direct of the year, and it could be a very big, important direct. I talked about that in my last video, and I'm really excited for it. I'm going to be live for that direct at about 4:30 p.m. EST, and I'll be watching it over on Twitch. Please come check it out, and let me know what you guys think about this. Do you think the cops are good cops, or do you think they're kind of crazy? I kind of think these guys are insane. What do you think? Let me know down below. I would love to hear it. Okay, goodbye. Goodbye. I'm leaving. Goodbye. Goodbye. I waved with the wrong hand again. I can't hit the stop recording button. Oh my God.